Greetings of the day. In today's lecture for BCom second year fourth semester, we will begin with our unit number 3. In the earlier segment, what we have seen, the most lengthy and difficult portion of our syllabus, that was final account of banking companies, followed by unit number 2, that was final account of general insurance companies. We have seen in banking companies there are 16 schedules. Then after that we are able to prepare the profit and loss account, appropriation and balance sheet. Similarly for insurance companies, what general insurance companies specifically, what we have seen, we have to first of all prepare revenue account for respective insurance business of the company which has been provided to us into the question, and after that we are able to prepare P&L account, appropriation and balance sheet. As we have discussed with the syllabus portion in the first lecture, we have mentioned that it is quite lengthy portion of our syllabus, whereas as compared to unit number 3 and 4, they are not as much lengthy as the earlier segment was. So now we shall begin with our unit number 3, that is valuation of goodwill. In this particular chapter, we are going to see what is goodwill, what are the theoretical background of the goodwill, later on what are the different methods by which we can value the goodwill, and after that we shall see about actual questions or problems related to the valuation of goodwill. In this particular video we will start with the definition of goodwill. After that we will see what are factors which affects the valuation of goodwill, then why it is necessary or what is the reason for which we value the goodwill, and in the last portion we will start with the methods for valuation of the goodwill. This is what is our task for today's video lecture. Let's begin with the definition of goodwill. So one way or other we have heard or we have used the term goodwill when we were doing our final accounts or in the subject of financial accounting. Usually what we used to do, we used to put it in the asset side. But if you recall the things when we were in 11th or 12th, when the first time we heard the word goodwill, what we have said, it is the reputation of the business. So we have said that in financial terms, what is goodwill? So goodwill is the monetary value of the reputation of the business. So that is what is the definition of the goodwill. And here most important thing is the monetary value of the reputation. Whatever the reputation of the business is, when we get their monetary value, excess of that is known as the goodwill. Usually what we have said that what is the feature of goodwill? We have said that it is an intangible asset. So if you recall the things, what is an intangible asset? The asset which we cannot see, which we cannot touch, but does have existence. That is what is the goodwill. It is an intangible asset, also known as reputation of the business. So the thing comes ki what can be the easier way, or in financial terms how we can understand what is goodwill. So I would say that whenever suppose that X person is selling his business to Y, at that point of time the value of our business was of rupees, what we can say 20 lakh, but the purchaser purchased our business on the amount of rupees, what we can say 20 lakh 50,000. So the excess of purchase price, over value of business is also goodwill. It is also can be termed as goodwill. For say value was of rupees 20 lakh, purchaser has posted in rupees 21 lakh, 21 lakh. So the difference of 1 lakh rupees, the difference of 1 lakh is goodwill. That is what is to be noted by the seller. Why excess 1 lakh rupees is received? Because of the goodwill of the business. Every business has its own goodwill. In Hindi we can say it as in Hindi or Marathi khyati. So why this reputation exists? Because of various factors, because of various things. Every business enjoys their own goodwill in their own sense. Whenever we go to purchase a product of XYZ company, we have certain interpretation into our mind of that particular thing. Or we can even take the example of the shops. In certain shops we see that there is a continuous footprints of the customer. They are continuously coming and going and making certain purchases. But in some other similar type of shop, there is very less rush of customer, or there are very less customers. Why this is so? It may be because of the goodwill of the shop. Why? Because if a customer is convinced that this shop serves better to me, it means that we are getting attracted towards that particular shop. That would result in the more and more what we can say purchase to that particular shop. Hence the footprint of that particular shop increases, and that is why we usually tend to move towards that shop, because of the goodwill of that particular company. For example, we can even see into the telecom sector that after the entry of Jio, various customers go towards Jio for the purpose of service of the what we can say mobile services, or particularly we can say to the network services. Why this is so? Because of the network was provided in very good range. At the same time, there was an high speed data, better quality of network. That is why customers tend to move towards them, because of the goodwill of that particular company. So this is what we can see as an example of goodwill, or we can understand how the goodwill grows, or how the goodwill has impact on the business. Definitely goodwill has a great impact on the businesses. That is why every business tries to improve their goodwill or maintain high goodwill into the market. Now moving towards the next thing, that would be factors affecting goodwill. What can be the various factors which could have impact on the goodwill? The very first thing can be the nature of business. What is our nature of business? What are the activities which are performed by us? If they are involving high risk, there would be impact on the goodwill. Similarly, if certain nature of business is sensitive, then again it would have impact on the business goodwill. Second thing would be the location where the business has been located. If it is located remotely, definitely less customer would be knowing to it. As less customer is knowing to it, definitely it would be difficult for customer to reach to the place of business. Location can also be referred as a place of business. So it also has an impact on the things. Then we can take example of location also, goodwill. Due to the recent pandemic, usually people tend to or discouraged to purchase the goods of particularly produced from China. That is what in an example of location. Why they are discouraged? Because they are considering some certain facts related to that, and hence that location has impacted the business of the companies which are producing goods in particular country. Then can be business monopoly. If a certain business enjoys certain monopoly into a business, definitely their goodwill will be quite strong, because their business is quite settled. They are having monopoly into their sector, and hence the business monopoly also has an impact on the goodwill. Then is the life of business. As we have life as a human being, similarly the business also has an life, and this life has an impact on the goodwill. How so? If suppose we consider that the business as an he's been going through the his life from very business is going through has established very few years back, is not a new business or is not a new company, so definitely that business would enjoy greater goodwill as compared to the business which is established recently. Why this is so? Because customer is not knowing the business and the things which are associated with the businesses, and hence usually what is considered a business with the greater life has good goodwill or great goodwill as compared to the business with the new life or less life. Then what are the risks involved into the business? If there are various large risks or huge risk is involved into the business, definitely the goodwill of the business is impacted. Then availability of capital, raw material, what are the various contracts, which special contracts which the company or business has acquired, all these things etc. are having an impact on the or the factor which affects the goodwill. Now moving to the third segment, that is necessity. Why we need to value the goodwill? The question comes in our mind. So if we have some excess amount of difference, then we can directly say that the 1 lakh is goodwill, get it credited and close the account. Then why we need to value the goodwill? Why it is so? We can get it directly or purchase sale में से minus कर देंगे and we can get our value of goodwill. But there are certain factors which should be considered for valuation of goodwill, or which has impacted or which are the reason for which we have to value the goodwill. The very first thing is change in profit or loss ratio. We are speaking here for the partnership firm. If suppose that there is certain change into the profit and loss ratio of the partners at that point of time, there is necessity to value the goodwill, to know the impact of the changes in the ratio on the financials of the company. With this, another reason can be the addition, retirement or death of a partner. If suppose that we are admitting new partner, or there is a retirement of certain partner, or due to an unfortunate event there is a death of the partner, in this case again there is change into the ratio. As there is change into the ratio, this rises the necessity for the valuation of goodwill. Hence we need to value the goodwill. At the same time, if there is a sale or purchase of business, firm or business, if suppose that some business is going for sale or any other company is absorbing certain business or certain partnership firm, at that point of time we need to value the goodwill of the business, so that we can get our premium apart from the sale price, which we have taken into this portion. What we have discussed is related with this point, that for the purpose of sale or purchase of the business, we need to value the goodwill. Similarly, if a partnership firm is converted into the into the company business, at that point of time again we need to value the goodwill, because there is drastic change into the financials of the company when it moves to there is drastic change into the financials of the firm, they move towards when the company. Then if there is an amalgamation or absorption of the company, if suppose that the certain company is getting amalgamated, it is getting combined with another company and form new company, at that point of time there is again change into the financials of the company, hence goodwill is required to be valued. At the same time, if A company is absorbing B company, at that point of time again there is necessity for valuation of goodwill. Similarly, if there is an external reconstruction or reorganization of the company to improve the financials of the company, at that point of time also there is a necessity for valuing the goodwill for the benefit of the company. So this was the theoretical portion what we have seen in this particular video. Now we will move towards the methods of valuation of goodwill. Usually when we see in general, there are 7 to 8 methods for valuation of the goodwill, but according to the prescribed syllabus of our RTM Nagpur University, we have to only follow these 4 methods for valuation of goodwill. First one is simple average method, second one would be weighted average method, third one would be super profit method, and the last one would be capitalization method. In capitalization, we can again get it into subparts. First can be A, that is average profit capitalization method. average profit capitalization method, or second can be super profit capitalization method. These two methods can be there in the question which could be asked for the purpose of valuation of goodwill using capitalization method. If suppose question says that if we have to value the goodwill on the basis of capitalization method, definitely I would recommend you should go by average profit method because it is simple to understand and easy to operate. Whereas if the question is asked by both methods, then there is no option. So what the question says is important with respect to the capitalization method for the purpose of valuation of goodwill. Remember one thing, all this question which we are discussing here for today's lecture is quite important for our examination point of view, whether it is an MCQ pattern or not. Now moving to the second portion, that would be the formula section. That would be the formula section which we would discuss in the next lecture. Until then, stay tuned. Thank you.